Good morning. We'll call the board meeting to order. Once we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor the victims of the August 27, 2025 shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis and recognize the first responders. And also, in that moment of silence, let's remember past County Commissioner Darrell Luthens, who has passed away. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. As we move on in our agenda, consideration of agenda items. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I'll move agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Kruger. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Chachka. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public Works.
Good morning.
Morning.
Consider approving the Minnesota Department of Transportation Lighting Maintenance Agreement 1060250, as well as the corresponding resolution for the intersection lighting at Trunk Highway 15 and County Stated Highway 26 north of Brownton. The intersection light will be installed as part of the Trunk Highway 15, Trunk Highway 212 roundabout project during the 2026 construction season, as that intersection will be a part of the detour route. This agreement outlines the roles, responsibilities, and maintenance for the intersection light. MnDOT will provide major maintenance and utility locating. McLeod County will provide minor maintenance and the electrical service. This agreement is similar to other agreements MnDOT has for intersection lights around the county.
Mr. Chair? Yes. Yeah, I'd just like to comment. I mean, this is a year in advance, and I mean, it takes a lot of work for your department and whatever to coordinate some of these things. And the reason I bring that up is there's a lot of people wonder in the county why we're doing it here or there or wherever. It takes a bit of coordination and a little luck to get it done. With that, I'd make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Kruger. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, consider approving the Minnesota Department of Transportation Detour Agreement 1060438 and corresponding resolution for the use of County State Highways 32, 26, and 7 for the detour for the 2026 Trunk Highway 212, Trunk Highway 15 roundabout construction project. Per the standard agreement, MnDOT reimburses the county for the road life consumed and maintenance costs associated with the detour based on estimated traffic and duration of the closure. The estimated amount MnDOT will reimburse the county is $48,633.43.
Any questions for Andrew?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, Andrew, question about the calculation. It's an estimate, I get it. Is there a chance that it can go higher if, let's say, the construction season doesn't cooperate and the project isn't finished on time? Is there some room there to move that number?
Yes, Commissioner Schmalz, the agreement and the reimbursement amount is based on the days the detour is active. So yes, if the road is closed longer, the amount will go up. If the road is closed shorter, the amount will go down.
Good, thank you, Andrew.
Anything else for Andrew? Wishes of the board?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Kruger. Is there a second?
I can second.
Second by Commissioner Schmalz. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, consider approving the pricing for the County Road 92 reconstruction project with the City of Silver Lake. In May of 2025, McLeod County approved a joint powers agreement with the city of Silver Lake to add the 2.5 block stretch of County Road 2 from Grove to Century Lane into the city of Silver Lake's infrastructure project due to available grant funds. The city has received pricing, is looking for concurrence from the county board to continue moving forward with the JPA. McLeod County will be responsible for about $334,000 in costs, paid for with funds from our local option sales tax out of the construction budget. The city of Silver Lake is responsible for about $1.545 million, with about $1.065 million covered by their grant funds. And I have.
Yes, Commissioner Schmalz.
Andrew, when this was before us a couple months ago, I think we had a little bit of a discussion about the value in entering this agreement with the city and with McLeod County, and at that time it seemed like a good investment to make. So with that, I'll move the request.
Motion by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Chachka. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, consider hiring Apex Engineering Group to prepare plans and permits for the Lake Marion Landing Improvement Project at a cost not to exceed $44,559 with funds from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources grant. McLeod County received funds from the DNR for upgrades to the Lake Marion boat landing, including reconstruction of the access parking area, parking compliant with American Disabilities Act, an aquatic invasive species removal area, and stormwater treatment. Proposals were requested from 3 engineering firms to prepare plans and permits for this project. Staff reviewed and scored the proposals based on understanding of the project objectives, completeness, and overall technical competence of the proposal, project approach and methodology, experience and qualifications of the project team, their work plan, schedule, and availability of personnel to perform the work within the project schedule and cost. Apex Engineering Group was the highest scoring firm.
Any questions for Andrew? I'll move to approve. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Andrew, is there a timeline as far as when this proposed upgrade is supposed to take place?
Yep, we are proposing construction late summer and early fall next construction season.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Kruger?
Is that is the landing in the park area there? I mean, the one furthest to the
Yep.
north?
Yep, it is the one
That's
in Lake
badly
Marion
needed.
Park.
I
Yep.
mean, it's never been a great landing. so.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item E, notification that McLeod County is selling surplus equipment on min bid. Items will be available for bidding starting on September 29th, 2025, and bidding will close on October 10th, 2025. The items are listed in the board packet. They include 3 snow plows, a couple of trailers from Public Works, a couple of trailers from Solid Waste, a mower from Parks, and a skid steer from Parks, as well as a forklift from the fairgrounds. These
Mr.
items
Chair.
have all been approved as being sold with replacement items. We are just doing the notification to fulfill the statutory requirements.
Very good. Commissioner Kruger?
Yeah, so I remember them being, as we took them, we permitted them to be sold. Is there a reminder anyplace else, or do you have to go on min bid to see that this is coming? I mean, do we have anything on, do you have a reminder, or anything on your page?
No,
or
we
anything? 'Cause
don't.
a couple of them pieces are nice pieces if you have use for them.
Yep, we can put something on the website. Right now, we have been following the statutory requirement of either advertising in the newspaper or in this situation, we're trying to get it out to the viewers for the board, and there will also, this notification will be published with the board minutes in the paper as well.
Okay. Because I do get calls once in a while, you know, we didn't know it. I mean, it's on that person, but But I mean, if you don't follow auctions or whatever, you don't really see it, but.
Yep.
All right, and I just see that as a notification,
It's just a
correct?
notification.
All right, very
Thank
good.
you.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Building maintenance.
Good morning.
Morning.
One item, item A, for your consideration. Consider approving the purchase of 2 Fusion A120DS mailing machines from American Mailing Machine out of Burnsville, Minnesota, with United States Postal Service meter rental and a 5-year maintenance agreement at a total cost of $33,360, with funds from the Central Services countywide budget 01076. This is a capital budgeted item. Each machine costs $10,500 plus $3,780 to rent the meters for 60 months and $2,400 for a 5-year maintenance agreement. The first year of maintenance is free for a total of $16,680 per machine. Purchasing these machines is expected to save $2,230 annually compared to the county's current lease agreement on one existing mailing machine. One machine would be ordered right away to go to the courthouse. The second machine will arrive just before the lease expires in November to replace the machine at the government center. Based on usage, the state has agreed to pay $6,300 towards the courthouse mailing machine. Little background, so there's a new IMI standard, security standard, that is going into effect, so these 2 machines will be compliant with that as well. Some of that is what started it, as well as the lease being due on the existing machine we have here.
All right, any questions for Joe? Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Kruger. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
we're doing a good job and we're running ahead, so I'd like to move that we do our calendars, being we're 15 minutes ahead on the next item. Or am I missing something here? I don't think so.
That's fine with me. Any objections from the rest of the board?
The reason I bring that up is because it's always been important for me to have these things on the agenda, and if anybody has last words or whatever, to be able to be here. So I'm glad we're ahead of schedule, obviously, versus behind, but.
Sure. All right, we'll move to county administration and review of the commissioners' calendars. Commissioner Kruger, you're up.
Okay, during the last 2 weeks or since our last board meeting, we've had budget committee meetings related to how our year is doing and what we need for a levy. I have also attended a North Fork One Watershed One Plan. I had agenda review. I've had to deal with a couple of drainage related, and still am dealing with a couple of drainage related items, and a couple of trailblazer related items. So that's where I am up to today.
Commissioner Wright?
Yep, on my calendar have been a couple budget meetings, setting up for one of our action items here today. Yesterday in the morning, 2 different meetings. First, a meeting with the feedlot committee as we continue to work on the topic of out-of-county manure. From there, went into economic development planning meeting, just laying down some of the groundwork for our economic director and an upcoming meeting. Every once in a while, I like to cover a couple of the highlights going on with different farmers. Just want to recognize that Ryan Mockentune, a farmer here in McLeod County, his farm was home to a trade negotiations team from South Korea recently as they were looking for the sustainable and secure production of Minnesota soybeans. So I think that's pretty cool that we had one of our McLeod County farmers as a stop for for that delegation sent from overseas. That's about it.
Very good. The meeting I'd like to highlight during this meeting is the conversation I had with the state auditor's office regarding the county's audit. For those that don't know, the board chair is responsible for participating in that. The state auditor was very complimentary of the county and the staff and how we do business, but they were also very thorough and they got to interrogate me a little bit, I guess is maybe the way to say, but in a very professional and kind way. It was about a 45-minute to an hour conversation that we had, and I think everybody should know that with everything that goes on and the checks and balances that we have. So, Nathan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since our last board meeting on the 19th, we did hold a workshop here at the Government Center, and that workshop was followed by a very short union negotiation committee gathering that we had. And then the week of the 25th, on the Tuesday, the 26th of August, we held our second round of union negotiation meetings. There were several scheduled for that day. And also Wednesday, the 27th, we had union negotiation second round meetings. And then following those negotiation meetings, we had an insurance, that would be the McLeod Sibley Health Insurance Group meeting as well by Zoom. And also on Thursday, we had union negotiations committee meetings. Again, it was the second round meetings that we had with our unions here in McLeod County. And then last week, on Wednesday the 3rd, I had a chat meeting here at the Government Center. That's a group that is a steering committee for our CHB, Meeker McLeod Sibley CHB. On Thursday the 4th, I had my regular Prime West meeting at Alexandria, Minnesota. I'll try to go through the agenda a little bit to alert you on some of the discussions that took place. Prime West is still looking at, showing a short-term loss right now because of declining enrollment, but they think that will reverse once we start moving into the new year when county-based purchasing kicks in. And so, again, they're vigilant of their finances, but responding to a slight loss. We shouldn't be alarmed. They have very deep cash reserves to fall back on. And the leadership is pretty confident that this will be reversed here moving into the future years. There is a lawsuit pending with a transportation company. They have served papers, or I should say papers have been served with that transportation company. So that's an update on where that situation is at with Prime West. And then toward the end of the meeting, I will report that the present CEO is retiring next summer, and the executive board did form a committee and had discussions about how to proceed. The main topic was they wanted to look at inside candidates prior to advertising for outside candidates. So they did have one individual who put his name in from the inside. He's been a Prime West employee for, I believe, 18 to 19 years. His name is Matt Magnuson. The executive board brought it to the Joint Powers Board. We approved the recommendation. So the next step in making Matt Magnuson the CEO of Prime West will be negotiating a contract with him. So we look forward to working with Matt and wish Jim the best in his retirement. These changes will really take place around June 1st of next year. And then, Mr. Chair, if I may, I took a call from a citizen in my district concerning some safety issues on a road that he lives on. I think I would hope that it's really comes down to not road design but an enforcement issue for McLeod County. And Mr. Chair, I also want to backtrack a little bit and highlight that at Prime West, if you get to the Prime West main office in Alexandria, Prime West is owned by 24 member counties. And in the front of their building, they have a county flag for each member owner county displayed. And the McLeod County flag is at half-mast to honor former Commissioner Luthen's service to the Joint Powers Board at Prime West. He served Prime West 4 years, and I thought that was a nice display to honor him in his passing. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Well, we had the workshop after the last one. Then on the 27th, we had our planning meeting, which is a short one this past month, so that was nice. Mark didn't have to drive around and do the road tour. So then on the 28th, I went down to Redwood Falls for the UCAT meeting. They're still pushing forward. Everything seems to be going well. Their schedules are a little different as far as their grant cycles. So there's some that come in at the end of July, there's some that come in at the beginning of the year. So numbers are a little skewed at times just because of the timing of that. And then on the 4th as well, I Zoomed the Prime West meeting that Nathan was talking about with the changeover coming up. And so it sounds like it's a good deal. So I'm hoping that it'll be a smooth transition, which I think it will. So that's it.
Anything from the attorney's office?
Thank you. In these past few weeks leading up to the beginning of the school year, my office, myself, and a few of my assistants met with some school officials just to prepare for the upcoming year. One was to kind of remind them that last year we initiated a prioritizing prosecution in schools program through my office that is designed to get offenses that happen on school grounds or school-related activities either into court or into diversion quicker to speed up that process and increase kind of accountability in those matters. And then this year we've initiated a truancy intervention program. So when we're dealing with school absences for our youth early on, it gives my office an opportunity to get involved at an earlier stage when there's fewer absences earlier in the year to try to identify what challenges or barriers are causing those absences, and then really linking the student, the school, and any other community resources to get those kids back into school early on. And hopefully, before we need to involve court involvement or the services of our human services or other departments. So we're excited to be working with schools on that. We expect to start to see some referrals now that the school year has started. So I'll just leave it there. Thank you.
Very good. Sheila, anything that wouldn't be covered in the action items that we'll address later?
No, Mr. Chair.
Very good. All right. Next, agenda number 6, the environmental services.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
We have one item this morning for your consideration. It is a preliminary plat, 25-01, as requested by Paul Rothstein for a one-lot preliminary plat on property currently owned by Dominic Lawrence. Dominic is his nephew, for the purpose of an additional building lot for a single-family dwelling with a shared driveway. This proposed lot would be within 1,320 feet of a permitted feedlot to the south. There are currently 3 non-farm dwellings between this request and the feedlot. Soil borings were performed by Mid-Minnesota Septic, and there are 2 sites, a site and an alternate site for a standard septic system on the property. This proposed 4.76 acre lot is located in the southwest quarter of Section 16 in Hutchinson Township. The Hutchinson Township Board heard this request on August 14th, 2025 and recommended approval. The McLeod County Planning Commission recommended approval for this request at its meeting on August 27th, 2025. And then yesterday, the Feedlot Committee met due to the variance. They did recommend approval for that variance. The proposed lot is 470 feet from the feedlot. The closest house is 220 feet from the feedlot. The feedlot was in existence when the ordinance went into effect in 1998, as well as the other 3 homes that were there. So this request is further than those other 3 homes.
Any questions for Mark?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
everything looks to me like you've done your due diligence. The only thing not particularly to this request, but I always like to watch the townships. I know it was approved, but I always like to know if it's a split or unanimous vote. I mean, it helps me, especially when I'm not familiar with the area. A place to get answers to any questions I might have. I see no problem with this one, but.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Our office does not receive the vote record for the township. They simply are signing off on the application. If there is any contention in regards to the application, they'll typically send us a notice via email or a letter stating, some of the concerns that they had and then what the vote was. But we typically don't know if it's a split vote, if it's a unanimous vote. So that's one of the reasons why it doesn't go into the packet that way.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
And I'm not picking on you, Mark. I figure if I repeat it often enough, it might come true. In most cases, it is on anymore, but it is a helpful tool, especially if there's any contention with the request.
Yep, understood.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes.
So at the meeting that day, I think all three of the other homestead that are in between this house and the feedlot, they were all present and they had no issues with anything, so.
No, and our committees have done their due diligence. I mean, I see the variance committee, I've dealt with that situation before, and I'm comfortable in their decision. I guess with that, I'd make a motion to approve.
And I'll second it, and just be clear, we're approving the preliminary plat of the,
That is correct. There's one more stage,
Yep.
and then also the variance request that will be heard on the 25th of this month at the Board of Adjustment.
so, motion by Commissioner Kruger to approve the preliminary plat, and I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, under number 7, item A, consider approving the Budget Committee's recommendation to set the 2026 non-union health insurance employer contribution at $900.70 towards single coverage, $1,351.06 towards employee plus children or child coverage, the same amount towards employee plus spouse coverage, and $1,801.40 towards family coverage, and a $250 for eligible employees who have coverage elsewhere to opt out of McLeod County health insurance. This recommendation has been budgeted for 2026 with no increase from the contribution in 2025. McLeod County will be switching to Health Partners as the coverage carrier due to competitive rates and availability of plan options. This recommendation for approval relies upon successful contract completion with Health Partners.
Any questions for Hannah?
I will just add, as Commissioner Schmalz shared, this went through the process with our local health insurance. It was very, when it comes to the Health Partners piece, and then was reviewed in depth by the joint powers between Sibley and McLeod as well. But I will note that our contributions are not the same as Sibley. Obviously, both counties make the decisions for their own county based on that.
Well, go ahead. I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
And I'll second it, Mr. Chair.
Second. Commissioner Schmalz, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, as Hannah referenced, I mean, we work with the insurance, the Sibley McLeod Insurance Committee, getting our RFPs out there from other companies, and it looks like we will be switching to Health Partners. And we look at, when we make those decisions, we look at what's the best for the employee. Cost being one of the major considerations. And I think we're moving in the right direction, and I appreciate you bringing it forward to us today, Hannah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And I will just note, as we know, employees tune into these meetings as well. Administrator Murphy brought up that we will have communication out to employees to explain more about this. It's always a big deal when we're making those types of changes too. And so we will have plenty of communication and training opportunities moving forward. Thank you. Item B, consider approving the Budget Committee recommendation to set the 2026 non-union employer-sponsored health savings account, or HSA plan participant matching contribution for eligible members at a maximum dollar-for-dollar match of up to $1,200 for single plan participants and at a maximum dollar-for-dollar match of up to $1,800 for other eligible HSA tiers, including employee plus child or children, employee plus spouse, and family coverage. This has been budgeted for 2026 with no increase from the 2025 contribution.
Questions for Hannah?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I can move the request.
Motion by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Chachka. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I will mention that this is a wonderful benefit for our employees. It's greatly appreciated by the board, or from the board's approval. And we've had almost 100% participation rate for those that choose to opt into a health savings account plan, which really aids people's health and for their family and themselves. So thank you for that continued support. Item C is consider approving the 2026 McLeod County Employee Wellbeing Budget request. The employee well-being budget supports the health and well-being of all McLeod County employees year-round. Some of the programming includes biometric wellness screens, after-hours fitness programs, well-being challenges, and the wellness credit program, as well as well-being trainings. This request has been budgeted for 2026 with funds from the countywide budget 01-003. And I should also note this is not any increase to our 2025 budget.
Any questions for Hannah?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I sit on the Wellbeing Committee, and it would be wonderful if we make sure that we can maintain these programs for the employees. We do have a good rate of participation. It's a cost saving to the employee if they can go through some of these screenings. And so with that, I will move the request.
Motion by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D is to consider a recommendation from the Budget Committee to approve the updated non-union 2025 salary schedule, the non-union 2026 and 2027 salary schedules, and the non-union 2026 and 2027 annual wage increases.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Having sitting on the Union Negotiations Committee, I think I'm pretty familiar with the material, that was in our board packet. It's not the easiest to understand because of the matrix we use, but it does show us being a good employer, a responsible employer when it comes to wages. We use the Keystone study as our base documentation. And when Hannah presents this information, we always get the information that, maybe McLeod County can't be the leader when it comes to wages, but we certainly want to be what we call in the market. And I believe that what we're looking at here puts us in the market. So with that, I'll move the request, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney's Office.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have 3 items for the board today. Item A is to consider authorizing the county administrator and/or county attorney to execute any and all necessary documents to facilitate the Purdue opioid litigation settlement. To this part of the ongoing opioid litigation, national settlements have been reached in the Purdue opioid litigation matter. The settlement administrator for this class has sent out those settlement packages. In order to resolve this part of the litigation, municipalities are directed to execute a direct settlement and a bankruptcy plan, and then any associated settlement agreements. So our class action council recommends approving all settlement agreements in the package. The amount for the allocation are approximately the same as previous settlements, and there's a tracking number for those documents. And there was also a summary provided in the board packet. So my office has had an opportunity to review these. I know Finance, Administration, Human Services has also been made aware. So we're just asking for authorization to sign off on those and to continue moving forward.
Any questions for the attorney? I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B is related, and it's asking the board to consider authorizing the county administrator and/or county attorney to execute any and all necessary documents to facilitate opioid litigation settlements with secondary manufacturers. So additional settlement agreements have been reached with non-national and/or smaller defendants. The settlement administrator has also sent out the documents to execute these agreements. So the recommendation is that we also move forward with these agreements as drafted.
Wishes of the board.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. You want it? Second by Commissioner Chachka. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
this is based, I mean, being we entered the lawsuit quite a number of years ago, this is just a kind of a formality, not, I mean, this is how the lawsuit shook out. I mean, there's nothing that we carved out of it as far as McLeod County. This is the findings of the lawsuit.
Right. When we chose to participate in the class as part of that class action suit, and, you know, we have class counsel that represents us as well as a number of other cities and counties in a similar position. I mean, this is a comprehensive settlement agreement. Not really a menu where we can add on or subtract from it. We're either going to participate or not. And here the recommendation is to participate so that we get recovery.
Is it dissected or split up between just the counties that entered into that lawsuit, or it's not for all 87 counties? Or
Well, there are counties that are not named in the lawsuit or participating in our sense that still receive some mechanism of recovery, but it's apart from what we have as being
It's
part
part
of the
of the
class.
settlement.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. My final item C, is just a litigation update regarding the Orion Blazin matter. He is currently being prosecuted still for a felony offense in McLeod County, and he had filed a civil complaint against McLeod County and additionals, including Blue Earth County, Meeker County, the Public Defender's Office, and other quote-unquote relevant defendants. He had a civil complaint. He was pro se. He made various allegations against the defendants. Our office moved to dismiss the lawsuit on legal grounds, including lack of proper service. That was heard on district court back on August 5th. The district court heard that motion to dismiss. The defendant failed to appear, so the court granted the county's motion to dismiss for lack of service. So the the plaintiff, Mr. Blazin, could bring the case again in the future, but at this time it's been dismissed, so it's no longer pending. So just an update or notification. I believe it was maybe 2 meetings ago that I had made the board aware of this lawsuit. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. All right, back to county administration. Item A, considering the preliminary tax levy for 2026.
Good morning.
Morning.
On the screen, you will see the proposed budget summary. On this first page are the funds that are actually part of the tax levy with the same levy dollars as the 2025 adopted levy. So this is showing it as it is with the same amount. We do plan on using unassigned fund balance in the general fund and social services fund. And those funds have enough fund balance to cover that overage of expenditures for the 2026 budget. And since McLeod County is a service organization, wages and benefits make up 46% of the proposed expenditure budget, along with the new mandate of the Family Medical Leave Act that will be implemented in 2026. The county is also budgeting to spend $5.9 million on capital with a major roof repair at the courthouse. The county budget committee has met several times to discuss the 2026 budget and levy and recommends a not to exceed 3% increase in the tax levy. So I have brought options from 1% up to 3% increase for your approval today. If you want to go to the second screen. So this is at the bottom here, you'll see the grand total. So the solid waste fund and the special revenue fund do not affect the tax levy, so they are using funds that are already set aside for projects. The increase in the tax levy dollars would be distributed to the road and bridge fund to keep this fund compliant with our policy. The McLeod County's policy requires unassigned fund balance to cover a minimum of 5 months of the following year's operating expenditures. The Road and Bridge Fund has the lowest fund balance by month at 4.26. So that is the only fund that is not compliant with our policy today. So if you want to look at the next page. So this shows, if you look at 2025, our levy is $29,418,534. And then I have the options at 1% up to 3% in 0.5% increments. So depending on what the board is comfortable today, you would either increase it by $294,185 at 1%, up to $882,556 at 3%.
All right, in an effort to, is that it for now? In an effort to spur the conversation, the budget committee wish to comment?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. We've worked on this quite a bit, and I think, in lack of a better word, realistically, or what we need to do. I unfortunately, in the 2025-6 years, the costs don't go down. I mean, so you have to work within the costs that are there. I mean, it just is. I wanted to hold it as close to zero as as we possibly could, but we have to be realistic on, again, it's a service-based organization, or lack of a better word. I mean, it's our government structure, and that's where we have our income, and our costs, again, do not go down. So that's all I really have for now. Paul?
Sure. Well, there's always 2 times during the year where it gets really quiet. One when you're setting the preliminary levy, and the other one we actually set in December. But just to kind of follow up with some of Doug's comments, I mean, we have met quite a bit, and we look at the fund balances, and as Colleen has mentioned, and she does a fantastic job with this, there's one that sticks out, and that is highway. We have 400 miles of roads to maintain. We've been short here before, and it shows up very quickly in our ability to maintain roads, and we don't want to go back again. And so I think if we look at that fund balance on highway, it becomes necessary to make sure that that follows our policy of having fund balance to move forward. Of course, our 5-year plan is a very fantastic tool in watching our costs and making plans for highway expenses, but and to look for outside funding to help build onto those roads. But we still need to watch that fund balance of to make sure that we have dollars there to do those simple repairs throughout the year. We look at our numbers that we've had for the past several years with the paper that we have in front of us. We have anywhere from 2.5s up to over 8. In order to avoid, and I'd hope that we always could, having to sit here and look at numbers like a 5, a 6, or a 7, or an 8 projections, we have to maintain those fund balances just as hard as we have to watch those daily expenses and make cuts wherever we can. And so I think we've asked for a presentation of on the lower side because because of where we sit with very healthy fund balances again, except for our highway. I think as Doug and I have kind of chatted back and forth as to a number that we feel safe with here today, with hopes of maybe, even taking a little bit less of a bite to increase the levy in December. That 2.5% seems to be a favored number at this point, which will fix up that highway fund. Short of making a motion for that at this point, I'll see if there's any other questions or conversation from the rest of the board.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Could I add to that, Commissioner Wright? I did meet with, Stefan and I actually meet with city administrators throughout the county at least 4 times a year, and Commissioner Truchka is at those meetings as well. And we discussed preliminary levy numbers with the cities for the county and their own. With the cities looking at higher tax levy considerations than the county, they were pleased with the numbers that the county was considering at the meeting today. I just want to remind the public, because it is hard to remember, that all of the rules that exist, the county sets the preliminary levy today, but it can only go either at that rate or lower when they set the final levy, and that's just a good reminder for everyone. Colleen not only takes all of this information that you see here and makes considerations with the budget, but she also does all of the internal work with Hannah and myself to figure out the numbers that Hannah just represented to you for the employee recommendations. So not just managing all of the dollars that go out of the county, but also what we need to survive internally to support our staff. And we have a lot of staff that we need to run the operation. When I talked to other counties in July at our technical meeting, some of them were in the double digits, but all of them were higher than us, who I spoke to for their preliminary levy. That may have changed by now. Hopefully, for their sake, it has. But I do believe that the commissioners on the budget committee, Commissioner Kruger and Commissioner Wright, worked very hard, not only this year, but in past years as well, to try and have a more balanced budget, and they've done a good job. I just wanted to remind everyone that the cities and the other counties do care about our information. They have been reaching out, and thank you.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners have questions?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I just want to finish out on some comments. Paul kind of hit on most of it, but I'd like to comment on our highway and our courthouse, which was mentioned by Colleen. I mean, I've been entertaining to get more work done on highways. I mean, we need to get work, and that's the most bang for the taxpayers' buck is on highways, and that's what they expect and deserve, and it also gives us the economic development of the smooth traffic to get in and out of McLeod County. So I've been very diligent looking at different areas to fund it. Unfortunately, in today's world, a lot of these projects are out a year or two, not just because of funding, but because, well, some of it is on grants and stuff, but it takes that long to plan them. I personally think that's ridiculous, but that's the rules we're given, and so it's hard to find an area of extra funding to put into roads or bridges because of that, the environmental studies, the whatever it takes to get them in. So you can't just, I personally did look into trying to expedite some road work this year. And it's even if we allotted the money, our engineers and our departments have no way to get at it and get it done for this year. And I don't know if I apologize for that, but that's the way the system works. I also we have some needed work coming up on the courthouse, and it seems to be, with my own scientific and also my personal desire to salvage that building, there's some things we're going to have to take a hard look at to spend some money on that. So that's kind of how I got to the 2.5%. I wanted to stay a little lower. I think that at 2.5%, I think we hold our feet to the fire to a certain extent because we cannot go higher. And not that I don't watch other counties or talk to other county commissioners or other cities. I think the cities in McLeod County do a great job. However, I don't base our need for a budget increase or whatever we have to set our levy on what everybody else does. I just don't. I think that's kind of a cop-out. I think we have good people, or we put good people in place to give us the right information to make good, solid judgments. And I guess that's why I will make a motion to set the preliminary levy at 2.5%. And I think that's a responsible, at least for this time, and we'll see what happens in December.
All right, I'll take Commissioner Kruger's motion of setting the preliminary levy at 2.5%. Is there a second?
And second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion?
I just have one comment. I want to thank you all for doing that. I know setting budgets is not easy, it's not fun, and I know that there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. So, again, thank you very much for doing that and getting it down to a very manageable number, hopefully. So, thank you. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I try not to repeat things, but I appreciate Doug's comments regarding the courthouse. That is a project in the future that I think we all have to understand we need to look at, but putting a timeline on that future is not something I can do in this moment, but I do appreciate the comments. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just have a question about the courthouse for the public. That is required, correct? We don't have a choice whether or not to maintain the facility. I just believe it is. In looking at statute, that the county, just making sure the public knows, the counties end out, and Attorney Hanch might be able to confirm or deny.
He caught me on my
But
heels
yeah,
here, but we
I'm
gotta have
really
a
sorry, I
courthouse.
didn't mean to do that, but just for the public to know, it's not even a complete decision whether or not we maintain the facility. I believe that we have to, but it is a decision when and that kind of investment that you make. So it is a difficult job for county board members.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Doug.
Just for clarification, I mean, I don't even, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't have to be mandated. It's our responsibility to either, to provide, improve or keep it up or build a new one. I mean, and at this, I have not entertained anything other than, in my mind, again, I don't know how much this relates, but as far as an upcoming item, I mean, it's our responsibility to bring that building to, you can't have leaky roofs, to put it this way. You can't have no sprinklers. You got to have good air quality control. There's a whole bunch of numbers that have kind of come together that have been patched over the years. So, I mean, that's my comment on the government center. On the courthouse, excuse me.
Ryan, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I mean, for what it's worth, state law does provide that a county must maintain a suitable facilities to hold court. And once there's a courthouse in place, if there were going to be, changes as far as location, construction, that type of things, the county board and the district court would have to agree on, largely what those large-scale changes would be. So certainly the county board will have discretion as far as timing and details related to like a roof repair, no doubt. But if we were looking at some kind of large-scale change, there would need to be conversations with district court, as there should be anyway. But yes, there's a statutory obligation.
Mr. Chair?
Trying to stay focused on the levy, but go ahead.
That's what's going to be my point. I mean, I'm almost sorry that I brought it up in my talk.
Yeah,
So
I am too. So let me get it back on track.
I just wanted to base my part of my judgment was on holding our fund balances, and the 2.5% gave us that opportunity to have a healthy fund balance, and it should make way for good expenditures for 25 and 26. That's the only reason I brought it up. So I thought it should be brought up, but it should not absolutely be not focused on this motion.
All right. Motion is for a 2.5% increase as a preliminary levy for 2020. Now I'm all confused. 2026. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheila, I think the next two are yours.
Thank you. Item B, notification of an electronic transfer of funds in the amount of $1,500,000 from the Minnesota Association of Governments Investing for Counties account to the Security Bank checking account was made on August 19, 2025. Item C, notification of board workshop following the board meeting on Tuesday, September 16, 2025, here at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. And just with that, a reminder that we have a quick turnaround of meetings, so we will be meeting next Tuesday. Thank you.
Open forum, press relations, anything? Again, we do have a quick turnaround based on some scheduling issues that we had to accommodate. So the next, looking for a motion to recess to the next board meeting, 9 a.m. Tuesday, September 16th at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Chaska. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.